Hola Benjamín, ¿cómo estás?
Hola Miguel, muy buenas.
¿Cómo están las cosas por ahí en España?
Bien, bien, un poquito frío esta semana,
Mm.
llevaba siendo un invierno bastante caluroso y ahora parece, vamos, no es como en Estados Unidos, que ahí es todo a lo bestia. Bueno, hace un poquito más de frío esta semana, pero bien.
Sí.
¿Y por allí qué tal?
Bien, hoy no hay, está haciendo sol, debería ser más frío, pero el día está excelente. So, bastante sol, llueve, frío, calor, frío, calor, frío, calor, frío, calor, frío, calor. Entonces, no sé. Yo tengo una franela, una camisa, so. Anyway,
No me acuerdo exactamente, dijiste en qué estado estabas.
en Georgia, en Atlanta. Tú estás en Valencia, ¿no?
En Madrid,
Ah, en
en el
Madrid, ok,
centro.
cool.
Mm.
En el centro, ok.
No,
Perfecto.
en Valencia
Sí.
seguro. A ver, en Valencia. Hará a lo mejor un poco más de viento, pero temperatura suele ser
Ah, ok.
mucho más agradable.
Ah, ok. Sí, yo tengo familia en Madrid. Estuve ya hace como año y medio y en julio por ahí tuve como 3 días y bueno, excelente. Ya, tío, yo de niño, de chico fui a Madrid con mis abuelos, pero pude regresar ahora hace un año y medio y bueno, la pasé chévere, bien. Bueno,
Muy
I
bien, muy
like
bien. Me
Madrid, es
alegro.
chévere. Yo sé
Además,
que la gente de EPIA Addicts, los adictos de EPIA están en Madrid, pero nunca he tenido chance o sea, de ver si voy un día de estos, me aparezco por allá al meetup en persona.
últimamente la mayoría de eventos los suelen hacer online. Al
Ah,
final
ok,
se ha globalizado. Sí
ok,
que es verdad que el año pasado se hizo alguno, el año pasado sí, se hizo uno o dos en
yeah.
físicos. Y bueno, yo ahora ya no estoy en el comité, pero cuando estaba sí que
Oh,
insistía en intentar hacer más meetings en persona. Y bueno,
sí.
estoy hablando con algunos y otros apasionados de las APIs aquí en España, que lo mismo
Ujú.
montamos alguna comunidad bueno, que pueda llenar ese hueco.
Yeah, ok.
Hola, hola.
Hola,
Hola,
hola.
¿qué tal, Juan? Nos has pillado aquí poniéndonos al día.
Hablando en
Ajá.
secreto en español.
Hey,
How's it
Ben.
going?
Hey,
Hey,
Ben.
Ben.
Okay.
We were
Eh,
having a conversation in Spanish, Miguel, Juan,
uh,
and myself.
this is
Yeah, we're
weather talk.
practicing Spanish.
Yeah, we're practicing
I,
Spanish.
yeah, my
Actually,
Spanish isn't good. So
technical Spanish is very difficult. I think it's difficult, you know.
Yes,
So,
yeah, I'm much better at technically speaking in English and in Spanish. It's actually, yeah, it's really hard.
oh man,
Where are you, Miguel, by the way? In
I am
Spain?
in. No, I wish I was actually. I have family, but I was just telling I mean that. So yeah, I'm in Atlanta. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia, United
Cool,
States. So yeah, I have. I mean, family in Madrid. I have family in Barcelona. So I have a lot of reasons to go.
cool, nice. So you go there often then.
I try. I try. I try. I really like it. I want to tie it up
Very
with a
nice.
meetup. The addicts are in Madrid, and who knows? I don't know. There's an API meetup in Barcelona. Probably by Valencia's got a couple of people I know. They're out there. So anyway, keep
Cool,
it
cool.
going.
Let's wait 1 minute more, see if we have more people connecting.
I do have a question. When we get a chance, maybe I want to spend maybe 30 seconds. I don't think it's going to take that long. Something when I attended my first meeting, you guys were talking about the different versions of different drafts that are out there, and I just want to know what happened with it. What was the conclusion of that? I missed the following meeting, and I didn't see anything in Slack. But anyway, you guys go and I'll listen.
Does someone has the answer to that question? I don't remember. To be honest, I don't remember the discussion, the specifics.
Oh, I'll bring it up. I'll bring it up if you have time. It's not, you guys have I don't have any, that's one thing I didn't, for the agenda. I don't know where to put agenda items, maybe in Slack, but it's just small question, but you guys go ahead and, you know.
So what we can do is start with the agenda, and if you
Okay.
find the thread or you remember more details,
Okay.
we will add it to the agenda, and that's it. I think for today, it seems that we have like many topics, but it's not as large
Okay,
because most of the issues are all issues that I was like doing the 3H this week, and I will have some doubts about those. So probably it's going to be just a couple minutes to for me to get more context about that. Anyway, so shall we get started? Cool. Thanks everyone for connecting to today's Open Community Working Meeting. I hope you had a great Monday. Greg, for you is Monday or is Tuesday? I'm confused with the New
Tuesday.
Zealand thing. Tuesday. Okay. Cool. Okay. As we always do, let me share my screen. We will review together the meeting etiquette. We are going to record this meeting to share it with the community and also in our YouTube channel. But if someone in the room is against sharing this publicly, just send me a message and I'll take care of not uploading this one. Otherwise, this will be online tomorrow. We encourage everyone to challenge any language or behavior that is harmful, not inclusive or against our code of conduct. And we'll try to stay on mute when other people is speaking and try to use the Zoom reactions for us time to speak. And this is what we have for today. So we have 4 issues, one added by Greg, if I'm not mistaken, to discuss about having deployment previews in a pull request created from forks, because right as of now, we only have previews in pull requests sent by branch in the same repository. And the other 3 topics were created by me, and all of them are all issues. When I was like updating the labels in all the issues of the website and community repositories, I have some doubts about what is the current status and the pending actions. And I just wanted to check with all of you if we are aligned to what is the next step for those. We are still on time to add more topics, so if you have something in your mind, just edit the issue, add a comment, or send me a message, and I try to update the agenda to add that topic. Any questions so far? Okay, let's get started. Greg, are you okay with starting with the issue added by you? Do you need me to share the screen or okay that way?
No.
Okay. Thanks.
Basically, this issue is just for, we've had a lot of PRs come through for the website recently, a lot of people wanting to help, which is great. Because of the way GitHub is structured and everything, they have to submit their PRs from forks, and Cloudflare doesn't particularly like PRs coming from forks for some reason, and so it doesn't generate preview files. But if Jason or I or someone with write access to the repository just created a PR directly from the repository, the CI would generate a preview and post a link to the preview site on the PR, and it would just be really helpful, given all of the website PRs that we've been getting, if we could get that same preview link, so that you don't have to download. In order to see what the website looks like right now, you have to download the PR, which is weird sometimes. I've got a script that does that pretty easily on my machine. I put that together for the test suite changes that come through so I can run those. But then you also have to set up your machine to run the website locally, which I'm not inclined to do right now. But it would be great to have PRs from forks generate preview sites as well. I think it'd really help reviewing. Apparently there's some configuration we have to go through in Cloudflare to get that working. I'm not familiar with that. Benha and Ben, I think you have access to those things. Open for comments.
Yeah, 100%. Is super useful having that preview because sometimes most of the changes are just small things to check if with visualization and so on. So you can just get the review done in some minutes. So yeah, if it can be done, it will be extremely beneficial. Ben shared some steps that needs to be done to get it working. So for me, it's a yes. Is this something, I mean, it should be done just by administrators. Yeah, it should be you, Ben, or me, or Greg, or someone else. So yeah, the problem is the time.
Excuse me. Yeah, I mean anyone can do it. The last time I looked at this, I think what I discovered was if we wanted to do it, we would have to use the API or the Cloudflare API in order to do a direct upload. And based on what the documentation said, this wasn't compatible with the GitHub connection we currently have set up. So currently, GitHub Pages does the deployment through an automated like OAuth connection to the GitHub repository, and the documentation said that wasn't compatible with doing this. However, there is no reason we can't set up another GitHub, another Cloudflare Pages instance, which only deploys the previews from pull requests, and that would be compatible with the approach we're taking. I don't see why that wouldn't work. I haven't seen the bit of documentation which explains how you would then post the relevant information back to the pull request. And the only potential issue is if those two instances of GitHub Pages of Cloudflare Pages get configured differently. So it might make sense to do both the production deployments and the preview deployments using the same instance of GitHub Cloudflare Pages. Sorry, but that requires making sure we can get that to work properly first before kind of switching it off and switching over to a different system or a different deployment method. So I think, yeah, it's worth doing. It doesn't look particularly difficult to do in terms of just getting the deployment previews. So anybody who wants to pick that up is welcome to pick that up, or I can look at doing that probably this week or next week.
What we can do is, if I have some time this week, I'll give it a try. And if I'm not able to do it, so maybe I'll just check with you so you can do it next week. Probably what I will try is the first approach you share, like having a different instance of pages just for that specific case, see if it is working. So we have first the previews available in this moment when we have like this huge amount of contributors because of Google Standard of Code. And we can just make a plan for switching everything to the same instead of Cloudflare pages in the future. That makes sense?
Yeah, I think that makes total sense.
Cool. First action item of the day for me. Cool. Okay. Any
Thank you.
comment? Thank you, Greg. Okay, I'm going to share again my screen to look together to see what we have pending in the agenda. Okay, 3 old issues. First one, review understanding JSON schema conventions and language-specific nodes. Past week, we published or we merged a first proposal of triage process, mostly for the website repository and also for the community repository. And this is the approach we are using for guiding contributors and this crazy amount of contributors because of Google Standard of Code to better collaborate with us and the community. But I have some doubts regarding what are the next steps or the status of the discussion for this first issue. Here is an issue created by Ben. And basically, we have some sections of understanding JSON schema text when someone is speaking in first person, like this sentence here. I notated here where probably this is the author, the first author of Understanding JSON Schema book. And basically what I assume that we need to do here is one of these proposals by Ben here. Quote it or attribute it or both.
I mean, sounds
Right?
like it should be a we, no? I think it's
Yeah.
just a writing mistake, probably not something that has to be attributed.
That will be much better, honestly.
Yeah, but we are not a Python programmer by day.
Not
Right.
yet.
Oh, yeah,
Not
but I
yet.
mean, but that entire sentence should be rewritten, right? Even saying I'm a Python programmer by day, that doesn't seem to make any sense. I mean, in the context of something like this, they can say, if you're using Python, then,
Exactly.
and a suggestion.
Can I make an alternate suggestion that we put that we have an issue somewhere of just documentation needs to be updated like wholesale. Can we just throw this into there? Maybe add a note onto here attributing it. I don't think it needs to be quoted per se, like format quoted, but attributed, sure. But then additionally, this all needs to be rewritten anyway.
Ben, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I think if we're going to spend some effort in rewriting sections of it, we should probably remove any sort of first person use anyway. So that to my mind, that whole section should be rewritten to not be in first person. And I'm sure we can find a way to make that work while still saying something useful. Yeah, I can't remember how old that issue is, but maybe we just looked at fixing like small things. But I think that the whole section should probably be rewritten not for first person.
I'm going to open that specific issue with the strategy for improving our documentation. Just give me a minute. This one. Okay. what I'm suggested here is at some point that is okay. In the end of the journey, we rewrite fully understanding JSON schema. And my reasons to suggest this is because understanding JSON schema was a book, right? And sometimes you need to follow different sections to understand or to see what is the flow of the learning path, right? But today we all read developer docs in a different way. You just go to a section and you understand exactly what you are looking for, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes the people is like confused about, hey, what is understanding JSON schema, or why this differs to other point of the specs, or also on JSON schema. So I think that if we at some point have a way to restructure that, is going to be beneficial. And we, of course, can put this issue in that list. So I can just modify this issue, put it there, and as soon as we open the black box or modifying understanding JSON schema, we just fix this too. Okay, the old trick of let's do it later. Right, let's do it later. Release 8. Those releases don't have any planned date because it depends of the number of contributors, but basically we are now here, release 3. Considering that I have this issue open to all of you, so at some point of time, I would like to clean the specification pages to make it more friendly. Basically, those pages here. I think that we can improve this. Oh yeah, this is the next priority with docs. So I realign it with this, put it in the list of things to change when we modify understanding JSON schema. Thumbs up. Cool. Okay, next one. Let's see who created this issue. Issue 193. This issue was migrated probably from other repository. Okay, was created in the spec and then migrated it probably to the old website, and I migrated it to the new website. And this seems long discussion about prefix items should allow or not arise of variable length. Let's go to the end. Okay, this ended up with a discussion about we are using the word tuple multiple times in the tuple in the docs, and it seems confusing. But everybody agrees it's not the right term for those contexts where we are using it in our docs. But we didn't agree in what is the alternative, right? So this is the status right now. We agreed that tuple is confusing, but we need to decide what to use instead.
I mean, going back to the JSON world, this would be just an array, right? I feel that we should be
Yeah.
sticking to terms introduced by JSON itself.
Yep.
So are we leaving tuple in that case? Or what is the term used in the JSON array? Okay.
But you can't just say array because it's the term is being used to disambiguate from a homogeneous array. So, I mean, you need something else. And for the record,
Yeah, but I think that
but
but why are we crossing the boundary even to programming language, types? Yes, an array can be homogeneous or not, depending on any programming language, but on JSON itself, which I guess is the context of these, JSON arrays are defined to be any JSON value. And I think people understand that.
So I'm not sure what you're suggesting how we describe prefix items.
I guess what I'm trying to say is it seems like the current content of the book seems to be trying to draw analogies in programming languages, which again, they vary a lot. Whether, can we avoid, I think in many cases, contrasting to programming languages and just stick within the JSON world that people might understand already, right?
That would be nice, but we have to use some words to describe the difference between that and a homogeneous array. I think the problem is what words to use. Nobody really has a suggestion.
Well, you
I
were
don't have to
speaking.
come up with them in this meeting either.
Just wanted, sorry for jumping into the conversation. While you were speaking, I made a quick search in the source code of the website, and it seems that we are only using that word in the page array. So where we are explaining what are arrays, and also release notes of. Let me see exactly. Release notes of the last draft. We have some words. Let me show you in the docs very quickly. Here, we are using tuples quite a lot. But those are the only two cases. The page describing what arrays are, and the release notes of the last draft. So I think it's like not huge scope to cover.
Yeah, so that release notes one probably shouldn't change because the examples are specifically describing tuples. But the UJS, this one, doesn't necessarily need to use that term.
I would say in the release notes, all three examples are using tuples. I think we could benefit from having an example in there that doesn't use the tuple concept. Because right now, with three examples all using tuples, it's pretty suggestive that this is to solve the tuple problem.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe we need to keep the discussion going to see if we find the right term. But I mean, it's just this page, so maybe it's easier that we think at the beginning. Okay, the word tuple is used here 16 times, so yeah, a lot. And we also have like a subsection called tuple validation, so yeah. Let's put this also in the list of things to change when we decide to modify in the standard JSON schema, maybe. Okay, let's break the silence. So let's keep the issue as it is. It's not available for development, and if someone get an inspiration about how to change the concept table in that page, that would be amazing. Is that okay?
Sounds like a plan.
Great. Next point in the agenda. Explain meta schema status and support. Okay, this is a very old issue created like in 2016. Let's see what is the status. Nobody joined the discussion, was just Henry explaining the topic. And honestly, I didn't know how to. In fact, I didn't put added the 3H label also. So I don't know exactly what is the best place for this issue and how to continue the discussion, or archive it or just leave it as it is.
I mean,
I
you
think
could
this can be closed.
archive it, but I mean, it's something that we can't answer right now because we're kind of in the process of redefining what we're going to do with metaschemas. So so either close it for now, or either close it or put it on hold or whatever until we're ready to have that conversation.
Okay, I'm going to. There is an issue called or hold. Let me check. On hold is the right one, right?
I would say just close this thing. This is in regard to, this was in 2017, so this is in regard to like the draft 7 meta schema. Maybe even draft 6. And yeah, it applies to the draft level meta schemas, but moving forward, as Jason said, we're still kind of working on how we're going to manage that. But if this is applying to only the older meta schemas, I don't think that we're going to go back and retroactively fix those at this point. It's been 4 years, well, 3.5. And yeah, I think they're pretty much set the way they are at this point. I mean, I'd say we can just close this.
Okay.
I don't think this is about changing the old drafts or anything that has already existed. I think this is just saying we should document what we do with, or how we update schemas, whether we update schemas in what cases. And to me, that sounds like a universal question, no matter
And
what.
I would expect that to be, sorry, I would expect that to be in just as part of defining the new process. I don't know that we need a specific issue to call it out, but
I agree, and that's why I mentioned that it would be okay to just drop it. The only reason to keep it around is if we thought we might need a reminder to define that at some point.
sure.
Let's
I
leave it on
don't-
hold. And to be honest, it's like closing an issue to a spec author is like intimidating for me. So if someone likes to close it, I just said volunteer. So let's leave it on hold, and as soon as we start working actively in the topic, so maybe we have like a solid arguments just to connect it with other tasks or just close it. So perfect this way. And that was all for the agenda. Your inputs were super helpful for me because, as I said, I changed the labeling of like 100 issues between the website repository and community repository. So yeah, we are in a better spot right now, and with like 30 or 40 people working in issues like crazy those weeks. Something to share. Today, I'm going to share let me prepare what I like to share with all of you, just for your information. I'm going to share my screen again. Okay, this is, I don't know exactly how to make this. I'm going to copy instead of sharing, I'm going to just stop sharing and share the link to the conversation. So basically, for the last couple of weeks, we have a lot of new people joining the community, doing some noise. Some of them like taking a lot of care of communication, interactions, and engaging properly with other community members and maintainers, but others maybe not as great as those, right? And we found people like sending a lot of pull requests without proper testing, without integrating the whole feedback of whole pull request, just receiving a new comment and just doing a new change without testing everything again and seeing what was requested as a wall. At least was my perception after reviewing a lot of pull requests. Also, the contributors seemed to be like competing one of each other, like trying to get assigned to a lot of issues, trying to get more visibility. And basically, I sent a message saying that this is if they are trying to get attention, that behavior is receiving the opposite. So people that is not a good open source citizen is not being respectful with the time of the people that is reviewing your code. That basically is what some of them were doing. They are just killing their chances to be selected. And some of the new contributors reached out to me privately saying, "Hey, I'm listening to comments, people complaining about people like getting assigned to a lot of issues." So I had this in mind, but that feedback from one of the new contributors just inspired me to send that message, just for your information. And I don't know if you, Greg, that you have been reviewing a lot of pull requests, and Julian, I saw your thumbs up. I don't know if you have the same feeling that they are like not trying to run too much, and instead of like making sure that the code is great. Do I have your support, guys?
Yeah, actually, right before you mentioned this, I was going to mention thank you for saying that, because it seems like a zoo right now in the repos, and yeah, I think this is why a lot of organizations don't like doing Google Summer of Code.
Yeah, exactly. I think that the situation was different past year because we didn't have like these boards with all the issues available. It was as clear how to start collaborating immediately, but this year was the opposite. So we have been working in having boards with all the issues ready, the contributing guides and everything. So they just went directly into the kitchen, like start like cooking inside the kitchen, right? And was like crazy in the beginning. However, I think that we can learn from this. Next year, reduce the noise if we decide to continue next year, reduce the noise to the whole community, and like make the transition directly to the right channel, keep that channel maybe noisy in the beginning, but with better policies. Yeah. But the good thing is probably the backlog of the website is going to be clean probably in 1 week or two. And Bowtie maybe is going to be completed also in 3 weeks, like maybe Julian, right? So you are doing releases every couple hours.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Okay, so just thank you for listening this moment of group therapy. Okay.
Yeah, I just had I
And
just had a
Benja,
question. Oh, go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Sorry. No, go ahead.
Oh, no. I was just gonna ask, following up on Google Summer of Code. So what are the next steps? What should be waiting for, or like what should we expect, and timelines after this?
So first move is going to be this week, Thursday. We are going to host an office hours to present the organization officially, share with the contributors the timelines and the project ideas. Greg, the time is crazy for you, so if you can record a video like a couple of minutes or a minute explaining your project, that will be enough. I checked with Matthew, and Matthew is going to be celebrating his birthday with friends or something, so he's not going to be able to join. So this is the first. Sorry.
Matthew and I are going to be coordinating to figure out some kind of selection process. In the meantime, I've put up a secondary comment in the issue that describes what the project is in a bit more detail.
Okay,
yeah,
that will be enough. So
yeah,
you
we've
are
got
taking the
interest so far.
okay.
See how that goes.
If you don't record the video, you are running the risk of myself reading the purpose of the task, and maybe it's not going to be as exciting as you explaining directly. So up to you. So if you like to record like 30 seconds saying, hey, I'm Greg, this project is awesome, blah, blah, blah. If not, I'll present the video. So this is the first thing. Second thing, we need to put in the issues a qualification task, basically for help you guys decide what are the best candidates for your project. It can be like a small exercise. It can be, for example, in case of Bowtie or the website. But in my case, for example, I'm just going to ask them to continue fixing issues or be a reviewer of a pull request or something, just to see how good they are at collaborating. But as of now, I have like 4 or 5 people that is rated in frontend. That is what I'm looking for the website. For Bowtie, Julian will know. I don't know if he has something in mind. And for the rest of the projects, so the language server, your implementation, Greg, and your rules project, Juan, just think about what are the skills you were thinking or looking for candidates, so you can prepare like an exercise for, I don't know, 4 hours, 8 hours, so you can see how they think, how they code, and they will attach that solution to the application, the final application. And we need to have those qualification tags ready in the issues for the end of this week.
Cool. I put one of mine already on that issue, by the way.
Are these qualification tasks also to assess capability?
Up to you, depending on the skills you are looking for. For example, we have been speaking the last weeks about language server and JSON shared, like this is going to be an ongoing work, doing pair programming with me. So probably for JSON, he's going to be like checking for someone that is like resilient, good at collaborating, good at listening, things like that, plus a good engineer. But for me, in the website, of course, I need someone that is great at front end, but also at collaborating and critical thinking and self-planning, things like that. And for you, it depends. How do you approach the project? Jason, sorry for using language server as a sample. For Julian, maybe he will look for people that is crazy like him.
Be crazy. That's the task, right? Prove to me that you are.
Let me very quickly see what are the date how much time they have for completing the application, because I don't remember. I'm going to share my screen with this. So we are here in the stage from February 22 to March 18. So the contributors are going to be discussing with us the project ideas, and they need to send the application in March 18. So we have 3 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks period when they will be completing the qualification task and the applications. And after that, okay, no, the application deadline is in April 2. So basically in March 18, they can start applying, but they can do it until April 2. So plenty of time still. We will use the channel GSOC core for synchro ourselves with this. So I will be sending reminders and trying to keep this thing working. Okay. Any other comment before closing for today?
Yeah, I just had that question that I brought up at the beginning. I think I remember now. I think I have it's probably an issue somewhere, but the first meeting I joined, there was talk about the different draft versions that are out then, and then the word like latest, right? And there was, there was some discussion, and I'm just wondering if that was a resolution of that, to saying here's the latest draft versus multiple versions of the draft, and I just want to know how that ended, or if there's an issue somewhere, I'll find it. I haven't been able to, but just wondering what happened with that. If anyone has I mean, I don't want to open a can of worms, whatnot. I just want to know, okay, this is what we discussed. Here's what happened. It's still up in the air or not, and here's the issue. Then I can go take a look.
Yeah, I think we decided to, well, I guess the process we were talking about moving to was kind of a living spec kind of deal, where things are, we add things to the spec from time to time, but it's always backwards compatible. And Greg had been proposing that we pull back from that. We decided to continue on the path that we were on. Greg and I were discussing it a bit in private. I think we're just about ready to bring that discussion public to everybody, although may not be the best time right now with everything going on.
Okay. So it's a thread between the two. There's no issue where that's a public conversation. That's fine, because that's something that resonated with me when the very meeting that I joined, and then I got busy with other stuff. But I'm really keen on what happens there. But cool.
Yeah,
I read your blog, by the way, so thanks for sharing.
Yeah, we got busy with other stuff too, so kind of got sidelined for a little bit.
Okay. I'll be waiting. Thank you.
Yeah. We'll keep in mind that you're interested in that, and make sure you see it.
Thanks for sharing.
I'll make sure to add this to the note so we have a new track point for the topic. Thank you, Miguel. Any other comment before closing for today? Cool. Thanks, everyone. We hope you will have a good rest of the day. Thank you for joining today, and see you in Slack and GitHub, and looking forward to see you next week. Thank you. Take care.
Take care, everybody.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
Bye-bye.